Hi everyone and welcome to Bonnie Astrology. Today I'm going to be discussing the final new moon of 2024, which is happening on the 30th of December 2024, and of course what it means for your zodiac sign. As always, if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up to let me know that you like it. Subscribe to the channel for regular astrology content from me. I also have regular astrology content on my socials, which are listed on the description. And if you do want to book a private reading with me to know what 2025 has in store for you, the information listed in the description is the only place that you can get me. I do now have a website that is up and running to book readings. So let's get into the general energy of this new moon. If you want to click ahead to your zodiac sign horoscope, the timestamps are listed in the description box below. I do suggest that you watch your rising for the most accurate results. So a few facts about this new moon. It's going to be happening on Monday the 30th of December, meaning that it is occurring just 2 days before a new calendar year. And this new moon is going to be happening at 9 degrees of Capricorn. So firstly, if you have any personal placements at 8, 9 or 10 degrees of the cardinal signs, those signs being Capricorn, Cancer, Aries or Libra, this new moon may be more impactful for you. If you don't, it doesn't mean that you will not feel this new moon. It just means that it is more impactful for those who have those placements. New moons and full moons can come and go, and sometimes they're impactful and sometimes they're not so much, but this will be triggering a new beginning in your chart nevertheless. Whether you're feeling it as external events, most likely if you have placements that are interacting with this new moon, or on the internal sense, depending on the house that it's occurring in, this new moon is triggering a new beginning. Now, the fact that it is so close to a new year and it's happening in the sign of Capricorn means that our focus goes to our new goals and our new intentions, what we want to achieve in 2025. Capricorn is an ambitious sign who thrives when they are setting goals for themselves, whether that be professionally, privately. When a Capricorn has a goal and is working towards something, they are their best self. With this new moon happening in the sign of Capricorn, you may be considering a job change in the new year, a professional change in the new year, and this might be a time when you're putting that intention forward, sending out an application, writing up your resume, or putting your focus towards a goal that you want to achieve within your current career. And if it's not career oriented, it might just be simply be something that you want to tick off your bucket list in 2025. This is a pretty good new moon to make some new resolutions. Even if you don't necessarily believe in New Year's resolutions, it can be more tailored to the new moon in Capricorn rather than the year itself. Typically with new moons, we focus our intentions on the 6 months that follow. So to begin something and develop it within the 6 months of the new moon itself. So it doesn't have to be just simply for 2025, but it can be a wonderful time to set a new goal and embrace a new ambition in your life. What is it that you want to achieve in the next 6 months to a year going forward? There's a very supportive sextile to Saturn with this new moon, which makes it more likely that you will have the effort and the energy to pursue a goal, to make something happen. And it is a little bit of a promise from this new moon that if you do put in the effort, if you do put in the work, something will grow and something will develop and something will be achieved from this new moon going forward. Saturn is the ruling planet of this new moon, meaning that it has a harmony with the energy that is being started, which gives a sense of longevity, commitment, responsibility to anything that you are beginning under this new moon. That being said, it can also be that you're aware of and respect the limitations or boundaries that may occur with this new beginning. Saturn in Pisces does demonstrate that need for boundaries and some degree of restriction when it comes to your goals. The new moon itself to me sort of screams a realistic fantasy, something that you really want to achieve, that you do believe that with hard work and effort you can make it happen. It will take boundaries and it will take commitment with Saturn being in Pisces, particularly from a spiritual level and also from a mental health level. Saturn in Pisces brings our focus to our spiritual side and to our mental and emotional well-being. So if you're wanting to work on a goal, you may have to put some boundaries in place, that you do have time for rest, you do have time for downtime, and you're not taking things to an extreme with the sextile to Saturn in Pisces. It may also be a goal that's a bit altruistic. You might want to help others through this pursuit. You might want to give to others and help other people solve their problems with Saturn being in Pisces. And with whatever new goal you're starting under this new moon, you may be required to follow your intuition with Saturn being in Pisces as well. Your dreams need a practical plan under this new moon in Capricorn. So if you do have something in mind that you want to achieve and you daydream about it and you fantasize about it, this new moon offers the time to make it a reality, but it will require work and it will require effort. It's very rare that anything in life is an overnight success. With the goals, it tends to be something that people work to for a long period of time, and then they get a big break and they appear to be an overnight success, but it's not necessarily so. This new moon is a realization of that it can't just occur overnight in the blink of an eye, and that your dreams, as I said, do need a practical plan. This can also be a new moon from a spiritual sense, where you're wanting to commit to learning a karmic lesson. Say you have something in your life that is repeated in 2024, and you feel a little bit disappointed in it. You think, I really thought I'd got that lesson. I really thought I'd learned from these experiences. You may be deciding, I'm going to try and make sure that I get the message. I'm going to commit to learning it, whether that's going to a therapist, whether that is journaling daily, whether that is being more conscious of your choices. This may be a new moon, as it is ruled by Saturn and Pisces, that you're wanting to learn a karmic lesson. You're wanting to understand why something keeps repeating in your life, and you're wanting to finally get the memo so that you can have better experiences going forward. It is, of course, worth noting that Saturn is still in its square to Jupiter, which has been one of the big transits of 2024. So Saturn is in a separating but very close square to Jupiter, and that is still this sense of trying to manage our need for freedom and expansion and optimism and hope with realistic expectations, boundaries, commitments, and trying to find some common ground between the two and manage both at the same time. And with Saturn being direct and Jupiter being retrograde, it is a time where people are that little bit more focused on their responsibility and their commitments rather than just throwing caution to the wind and going free. Or it can also be a time where people aren't necessarily the most optimistic. Jupiter is not so happy being in Gemini, and in retrograde, the optimism is a little bit... It requires some facts and logic to back it up for most people. Saturn being direct in Pisces is giving the sense of commitment and responsibility to this new moon. So it may be a new moon where, as I say, you do want to make your fantasies a reality, but you are approaching them from quite a logistical and practical perspective. And the actions that you're taking are more grounded than just being a big dream that you hope occurs. This is a new moon that is going to make you work for it, whatever it is that you're hoping for. So as always, I'm going to pull a tarot card for this new moon in Capricorn before the sun disappears on me on this winter's day, this bleak midwinter. It's actually a really beautiful day today, not bleak at all. So let's get a tarot card for this new moon in Capricorn. 10 of Pentacles, focusing on our goals and focusing on achieving something. This is a legacy card. It's focusing on what it is that you want to leave behind, focusing on what it is that you want to grow, what you want to develop, maybe what you want to leave to other people, leave to your children, your grandchildren, whether that be wisdom, whether that be material, whether that be property, whatever the case may be. A lot of people with this new moon have their eye on the prize when it comes to a goal, and they want to build something strong for themselves. They want to build something that can last. And I think with Saturn being in Pisces, there is a sense that whatever you're wanting to achieve under this new moon, there is a desire to do something with it that is more than just self-gratification, more than just self-achievement. There's a want to give to others, to help others. And as I say, that does not have to be material. This is obviously a material card, but it can be some legacy that you leave where you helped others, or you give others valuable wisdom, or whatever it is that you can give. It's not always about financial donations. Sometimes your time, sometimes your talents can be the most important gift that you give to others. And this new moon can absolutely show you how. That's what I have for you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Aries, welcome to the new moon in Capricorn for your sign. So Aries, this new moon is happening in your 10th house, which brings to the fore matters of career, your goals, your performance, and your public life. So as it is a new moon, Aries, there may be a new beginning, a restart, or a refresh in your career. Now this new moon, you may be setting some new goals for yourself. What do you want to achieve professionally in the new year? Around this time, perhaps you're starting a new job, or you're adding something new to your business, or you're going to set an intention for your career or your job. Now, it feels like for a lot of you, whatever the matter is here that is happening with your career, with Saturn in your 12th house in a harmonious sextile to this new moon, It feels like a lot of the work that you're going to be doing is behind the scenes, or you're at least keeping it somewhat private. Even if you're beginning something new professionally or publicly, there are elements of it that you'll probably be working on privately or behind the scenes. For a lot of you, some of these goals could actually be spiritual in nature as well. Or it could be that part of your goal setting is to do Aries with setting better boundaries when it comes to your career or your work life. But this is a very positive new moon for you to begin something new professionally. I will say, with your ruler Mars retrograde, don't worry if you don't get off to a flying start. Don't worry if you don't feel you have all the energy that you need, or if you're still in a resting period. New moons are a wonderful time to set intentions or begin something new, but that does not mean you have to put all your energy into it 100% Aries. So you might be thinking about what you want to do career-wise in the new year, but there is no need to invest all of your energy in it immediately. So your tarot card for this new moon, Aries, is the Temperance card. You may want to take your time to practice patience, to chill out a little bit, to go at a slower pace, to find some moderation, some balance, and some harmony in your life, even if you are looking to set new goals, and they could be, quite ambitious ones. I think for a lot of you, it's okay to, as I said with Mars, get off to a bit of a slower start and take a bit of downtime if you need it, especially if you're feeling under the weather. With Saturn going through your 12th house and Mars retrograde, maybe if you're feeling under the weather or tired, you may need to take some time to rest around the time of this new moon. Remember that the days just before the new moon or the new moon itself can be quite tiring energy, but we start to feel the momentum build back in the days that follow. So if you're not feeling the most energetic, that is okay. You can initiate a new goal and still take your time. That's what I have for you, Aries, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Taurus, welcome to the new moon in Capricorn for your sign. So Taurus, this new moon is happening for you in your 9th house, which is bringing to the fore matters surrounding your personal beliefs, your faith. It is also to do with higher education, and it's also to do with travel. So for some of you around the time of this new moon, you could either be planning or taking a trip. For some of you, it could be to do with friends, because Saturn is going to be in your 11th house at the time of this new moon, and that means that you may be making new beginnings because of friendships, or you could be traveling to see friends. It could also be that if you're undergoing a new chapter in your education, your higher education, you could actually make some very solid long-term friends with Saturn being in the 11th, or it could be that you're very committed to your future. And under this new moon, you're thinking, well, if I want this kind of a future, I may have to study this, or I may have to get this degree or this certification, or I may have to travel here or get this visa or get my passport. You're thinking long term, Taurus, and it is encouraging you under this new moon to set some sort of new target when it comes to education or traveling, or even just getting to know or exploring your belief systems. The 9th house is a place of adventure. So essentially under this new moon, you may be thinking, Taurus, that you want to travel somewhere specific. You may want to travel somewhere with a group of friends, as I said, or you may want to travel somewhere to work on a cause or a humanitarian mission. It could also be that you're wanting to perhaps go overseas for university or college or something of that nature. It's a great new moon, as it's happening so close to the new year. It's a great new moon to create a vision board, and for you, it could really focus on the different places in the world that you want to go in 2025, Taurus. Where do you feel called to explore? Where do you feel called to go to? Because it may be the year that you take the trip of a lifetime. So it's up to you to put that vision board together, or if it's that you want to study something, you may be putting forward a plan as to how to get this degree or this master's or whatever the case may be. Now, your tarot card, Taurus, was the Star, which is of course one of the loveliest cards in the deck. It's all about hope, and it's all about having faith in the bigger picture. So for some of you, Taurus, you may be feeling that you want to perhaps have faith more. You're wanting to be more optimistic or have faith and trust that everything is working out as it should. The star can also sometimes appear when a wish is about to come true. So for some of you, maybe with Saturn being in the 11th, you've been working really hard on something and you've just wanted that recognition, and it may just be round the corner, Taurus. That's what I have for you, and I will talk to you soon. Hi Gemini, welcome to the new moon in Capricorn for your sign. So Gemini, this new moon is happening in your 8th house. So for some of you, this could be a new beginning, a reset, or a refresh when it comes to your financial affairs. Maybe some of you are beginning a new chapter when it comes to the taxes you pay, or your mortgage or loan or debt that you're paying off. You might be beginning a new chapter there. So maybe you're getting a mortgage, maybe you're getting a loan, maybe you're committing to a new financial plan, or maybe around this time you're speaking to your financial advisor and getting your affairs in order. This can also be a time, Gemini, if it's not to do with financial affairs, it can be quite psychological in nature. The 8th house can be a time, especially the 8th house season, which is Capricorn season for you. It can be a time where there are some emotional crises or intense emotions come to the fore or intense interactions occur. And when these occur, sometimes through the difficulty, we can get to know ourselves better and we can get to know other people better. And it can encourage greater intimacy, vulnerability, and connection with other people. So this can actually be a time where you're connecting with another person on a deeper level. For some of you, it could be a father, it could be someone in a position of authority, it could be a boss that you're connecting better in your relationship, maybe after a period of difficulty. It can also be a time for a lot of you where perhaps due to career changes, maybe your tax situation is changing, or maybe the repayments that you make are changing, or maybe, your financial affairs are changing because of your career status changing, or your career changing, or your job changing, because Saturn is in the 10th house. So it feels like for a lot of you, your financial affairs may be changing, hopefully and more likely, Gemini, for the better because of changes in your role, in your job, in your professional or your public life. And it does seem favorable, Gemini, because your tarot card was the Queen of Pentacles. So this means that you may be finding under this new moon that you have support, maybe from a woman in your life, maybe from an earth sign in your life, Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn, or someone who is, a business owner, entrepreneurial, hard worker, or something of that nature. But it feels like you could be connecting more deeply to somebody in your life because you have shared values, you maybe have similar financial situations, or you find that you have someone helping or assisting you financially at this time, Gemini. That is what I have for you, and I will talk to you soon. Hi Cancer, welcome to the new moon in Capricorn for your sign. So Cancer, this new moon is happening for you in your 7th house of relationships, partnerships, your one-on-one unions. So for a lot of you with this new moon Capricorn, it is possible with this new moon in Capricorn that you are beginning a new relationship. You may begin a new romantic relationship, a new connection. You may make a new best friend in your life, or an existing relationship may transform, it may be reset or renewed. It can also be in your current relationship, if you're taken, that this is a renewal point, a restart, a moment to hit the refresh button and communicate better. Saturn is in your 3rd house and it is in a supportive aspect to this new moon, and that means for you, Cancer, that under this new moon, you may find that if you're connecting with someone, if you're making a new relationship happen, it may be with someone who is perhaps from overseas. It could also be from someone that you have a different religious background, or maybe even you share similar religions. That can be something that happens as well with the 9th house. You're very focused on a particular belief system with your partner. It can also be that you meet somebody through university, through college, through studying, or even through church if you go to church. It can be that you meet somebody where faith and belief is an important aspect in the relationship itself. Or as I say, you can meet someone while you're traveling or you're studying. Cancer. It can also be a case under this new moon that in an existing relationship, you may be taking a trip together. You might plan a trip together, or you may set a goal together to travel to a specific place in 2025, or maybe even learn something together. But this can also be a new moon where if a relationship is not working and you don't think that it has commitment potential, maybe this new moon is saying, I'm going to go out and look for something that is more serious, or something that is more we have the same beliefs, we have the same core principles. Now your tarot card, Cancer, was the 2 of Pentacles, so you may have trouble balancing all that you have going on at the time of this new moon. You might have options and decisions to make with relationships, or you may be working on balancing your needs with your partners or prospective partner. That is what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Leo, welcome to the new moon in Capricorn for your sign. So Leo, this new moon could bring about a job change for some of you. Now it's happening in the 6th house, which is to do with our work, but also our wellness. So I'll get to that in a second. But this new moon can essentially bring about maybe a new role, a new service that you're offering. If some of you have been looking for a new job, this might be around the time that you begin this new job or you start a new job. But it can also be, within your existing role, what you're doing on a day-to-day basis is changing. For a lot of you though, I think this new moon may be where you want to set up some new routines for yourself. Maybe you're beginning a new way of eating, a new way of exercising, you're joining a gym, you're committing to running, you're committing to some sort of fitness goal or health goal for the new year. And that's obviously going to look very different for each of you depending on your circumstances and your wants and your own personal needs. So take it as it resonates. It feels like a lot of you are making changes for your health or embarking on something new when it comes to your health and your well-being and your wellness. It essentially looks like for a lot of you, you're starting new routines, or you're adding to your routine or resetting your routine in some way, shape, or form. But with Saturn being in your 8th house, Leo, it could be that you're also, through your routines working on helping your mental health or working something out from a psychological perspective. It could be for a lot of you that you're wanting to begin a new routine that's really good for your mindset. It's really good for challenging yourself and challenging any fears or phobias or limiting beliefs that you might have. It feels like you could be adding a bit of a psychological component to your workout routines or your wellness routines. A lot of the time with personal trainers, they kind of have awareness of wellness more generally. It's not just the muscle growth or the weight loss or anything like that. There's usually, you'll find an emotional element goes alongside it. So I think for some of you, you could be doing these things for the sake of your emotional or psychological well-being, Leo. So it might be a case that, say, for example, you start going to yoga, you're noticing the healing properties of it that come through the emotional release and things that can happen during stretching, for example. Your tarot card, Leo, was the Queen of Cups. So for a lot of you, it feels like you could be, feeling emotionally supported by somebody else at this time. There could be someone in your life that is helping you make the changes that you want to make. You might be getting advice from a healer, like a nurse or a doctor or a Reiki healer or something of that nature. You could be seeking advice when it comes to what you're changing health-wise at this time, Leo. That is what I have for you, and I will talk to you soon. Hi Virgo, welcome to the new moon in Capricorn for your sign. So Virgo, this new moon is happening in your 5th house. Now this is to do with your romantic life. It's also to do with your creativity and your creative endeavors, but it can also be to do with your children if you have them. So for a lot of you Virgos, we'll start with the children part. For some of you, this could be a pregnancy. Some of you with Saturn being in your 7th house of relationships and significant others in a harmonious sextile to this new moon, you could be deciding with your partner that you want to have children, or you could be finding out that you're pregnant at the time of this new moon or giving birth, for example, at this new moon. So for some of you, it could be that there is a birth on the cards for you with the new moon in Capricorn, or a pregnancy. For others of you, it could simply be, particularly if you're single, that there is a new romantic interest on the scene. This could be somebody that you could actually go the distance with, Virgo, because of the sextile to Saturn in your 7th house of committed partnerships. You may find if you begin dating someone at this time that they have long-term potential, or there's a lot of solid commitment with this person. It could be somebody that you could see yourself committing to with Saturn being there. So if you're dating at this time, it can be a really nice time to meet somebody new under this new moon. It can also be a time that if you are dating someone and you start to sort of consider if it has long-term potential or not, you may decide to leave the dynamic because it's not got long-term potential. That can also be something that occurs with the new moon. With Saturn ruling this new moon and being in your 7th house, when it comes to your love life, you are sort of more thinking through the eyes of, is this something worth committing to? Does this have, is the option of success there? That kind of thing. But it can be for others of you, if it's nothing to do with children and it's nothing to do with your romantic life, this can be a time when you're beginning something new for fun. And it does feel like there could be another person that you're doing this with. So it could be that you're maybe beginning a creative project. Maybe you're going to an art class and you and your best friend are going, and you're going to develop the relationship together and you're going to get on better. You could be beginning a new creative relationship. So working on something with another person that is creative in nature, Virgo. That can happen too. And just generally, this can be a nice new moon to make fun plans, go to the theatre, go to a concert, go to a dance, something that gives you joy and something that makes you happy. It's a great time to begin something that makes you happy, Virgo. Now we do have the Chariot card here, which means that whatever is happening around this time, you may feel an element of success, you may feel quite driven to pursue this, you might feel quite victorious in going after what it is that you want to go after at this time. And it could also be for some of you under this new moon that maybe you're getting a new car, or maybe some of you are getting a new vehicle or taking a short trip with the Chariot card. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Libra, welcome to the new moon in Capricorn for your sign. So Libra, this new moon is happening in your domestic sector, which means that there is a new beginning happening for you when it comes to your home and your family life. Now this could for some of you be a new beginning in the sense that you are moving. Maybe you're moving house, or maybe you're beginning the property of selling a house, looking for a new house, or just simply changing your living environment. So that could be that you're deciding under this new moon you want to redecorate, you want to clean the house out, you want to perhaps add a few new touches to the home environment and maybe have a bit of a makeover. Now, with Saturn being the ruler of this new moon in the 6th house and in a sextile to this new moon, it is possible for a lot of you Libra that you are making changes in the home to accommodate your job or your daily routine. So for some of you, that could be that perhaps your working from home arrangement is changing. So you're setting up a home office, or it could be that you're maybe setting up for your wellness. Maybe you're making a home gym, or you're setting up a space for meditation or something like that. You're basically amending your living environment to accommodate your routines under this new moon. It could also be that there's a reset with a family member. When it comes to chores, when it comes to domestic arrangements. So maybe if you're wanting to improve your relationship with someone that you live with, whether that be a family member or a housemate, perhaps you're resetting the relationship when it comes to what your roles are within the home as well, Libra. But for a lot of you, it looks like there's a new beginning happening with your home or your family. It could also be that maybe something is changing in your family relationships because of the work that somebody else does. But I do think for a lot of you, this could actually be work on the home or changing your living environment to accommodate your lifestyle choices. So for you, Libra, this tarot card that you got for the new moon is the Two of Swords. So I think for some of you, you're maybe feeling a little bit shut off to solutions at times, or maybe you're not able to see all the options, or maybe you're not necessarily sure of what to do next. And Mars is still retrograde at the time of this new moon, so it may be that perhaps with Mars being retrograde in your sector of the future, you're not entirely sure of the best steps to take when it comes to making plans in the long run. It's okay with Mars being retrograde to feel a little demotivated at times or a bit unsure about how to proceed. And with Mars being retrograde, it's best reminding yourself that there is really no rush in any of these processes. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Scorpio, welcome to the new moon in Capricorn for your sign. So Scorpio, this new moon is happening in your 3rd house. So there may be a reset in a relationship to a sibling, to a cousin, to an aunt, to an uncle, to a neighbor, as these relationships fall under the 3rd house. So there could be some sort of restart, renewal, or a new beginning pertaining to these types of people in your life. This could also be that you're perhaps doing something creative with these folk in your life, with the sextile to Saturn in your 5th. So maybe for some of you, you and one of these different types of relationships, maybe you're working on an artistic project under this new moon, or you're beginning an artistic project, or you're beginning to do something fun together, maybe as a way to reset the relationship. It can also be for some of you that you're working creatively on writing, maybe on podcasting, blogging, social media. Maybe you're beginning a new chapter of putting your art out there, especially if it involves writing or communication. It can also be a time where some Scorpios are maybe getting a new car or are beginning a new commute. Maybe something in your life has changed and you're changing up your daily commute or your daily routine. This can also be a time for some Scorpios where you're wanting to learn something creative. Maybe some of you got an instrument for Christmas. Maybe you're wanting to learn an instrument, you're wanting to learn an art, you're wanting to perfect a skill. So under this new moon, you may be taking a class or taking a workshop in order to be more creative. Some of you, if you are with Saturn in the 5th house, maybe pregnant, expecting, or you have children, you may be taking up some sort of a class to learn more about that. A wellness or a prenatal class or something of that nature. Some of you could also find under this new moon that you're working on your communication style. And for some of you as well, you could be perhaps committing to something creative that will help you express yourself more if you've been feeling a bit inhibited creatively. So maybe taking a workshop or a class to help you put yourself out there with your art or your creativity. But it also feels a little bit with this new moon, Scorpio, like some of you are just really wanting to be present in your local environments, to get out and about, to go to a workshop or an event or to do something locally. And for some of you, you may also run into someone who could be a romantic interest, with Saturn being in the 5th house, connecting to this new moon in the 3rd. You could meet somebody locally. Now, the Empress is your tarot card, which means that for some of you, this could be to do with pregnancy, motherhood, but it is also the energy of abundance and creativity. So I think for a lot of you, with this being a card of abundance and expression, I think a lot of you could be nurturing a creative gift or a hobby, or you're wanting to express yourself creatively, Scorpio. That is what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Sagittarius, welcome to the new moon in Capricorn for your sign. So Sagittarius, this new moon is happening in your financial sector. So this may be a new beginning for a lot of you financially. So that can be how you're making your money, that can be what you're spending your money on, your savings. It can be to do with your financial habits more generally. So maybe under this new moon, you have a new way of being paid. Maybe under this new moon, you have a new payment plan. Maybe under this new moon, you are rebudgeting, Sagittarius, and you're taking your finances quite seriously, taking your financial affairs seriously in general. It is in a sextile to Saturn in your 4th house. So for a lot of you, this could be to do with home property matters. Maybe you have moved and it's changing your financial situation. Maybe this is to do with the purchase of a home, selling a home, or just family commitments in general may be where your money is going at this time, or a change in living situation may be supporting your financial situation. I think for a lot of you Sagittarius, this new moon is a reset. So you're maybe looking at your finances and thinking, okay, I'm going to spend more on this, less on that. I think a lot of banks are now doing a 2024 wrapped the way that Spotify does for music, but for your financial habits, and it's showing you what you're spending your money on or not. And I think for a lot of you, you might be taking note of something like that and rebudgeting or setting up a payment plan or focusing on your finances for 2025. But I do think for a lot of you, it could be that maybe even you're putting money into the home, you're saving for a home, or you're putting money towards a family member or wanting to help a family member out financially or something of that nature. There is that connection to your home, your family, and your living situation when it comes to your finances. But this new moon is absolutely a financial reset for you, Sagittarius. And your tarot card was the 9 of Cups, which is actually the wish card. And it's a card about manifestation and abundance. So for a lot of you, you might actually be feeling pretty confident in whatever is happening for you financially at this time. Maybe this is a new moon where you're manifesting successfully some sort of financial goal, or you're feeling quite fulfilled with what you are achieving. The 2nd house is also to do with confidence, Sagittarius. So this new moon may be a time when you're wanting to focus on gaining more confidence. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Capricorn, welcome to the new moon in your sign. So Capricorn, this new moon is happening in your 1st house of self. So essentially under this new moon, Capricorn, you may have a restart or a refresh when it comes to your image. So that could be that maybe you're getting some dental work done. There is a sextile to Saturn for this new moon. It could be that you're wanting to invest in skincare. It could be that you're changing your hairstyle. You might be adding some new clothes or accessories to your wardrobe or your routines. You could be getting a new watch as you are the sign that rules watches. But it doesn't have to be an image reboot. It could also be that your approach to life is changing. And I think for a lot of you, whatever change that you're making, it may involve some degree of learning. So maybe you're wanting to learn about color theory and buy clothes that suit your skin tone. It could be that perhaps you're wanting to learn about styling. You're wanting to learn how to make your own clothes, or you're wanting to learn how to sew, or something of that nature, Capricorn. With Saturn being in the third house, I think when it comes to your image revamp or your approach to life revamp, you're wanting to learn something new. So you might be taking a workshop or a course to help you achieve the personal goals that you have. You may also feel very supported by a sibling at this time. You may feel supported maybe by a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, a neighbor, somebody who's in your local environment. You may be supported by them when it comes to your image, or you may be changing your daily routines and habits in order to improve your image or your approach to life, or just your feelings, how you feel about yourself and how you feel about life, Capricorn. Your tarot card was the Ace of Cups, which is a beautiful card for a new beginning. It means that your heart is aligned with what you're starting at this time. You're going to feel appreciated. You're going to feel in tune and in flow with what it is that you're starting at this time. And with new moons in the first house, sometimes these can be pregnancies. So for some of you, that could be what is happening under this new moon. It doesn't have to be for all of you. It could be, something new beginning in your life emotionally that you're happy about. So new love, new romance, new artistic hobbies, new passions, new creative hobbies, just feeling emotionally, overwhelmed in a good way with the Ace of Cups. But also with new moons in your sign, maybe you're just feeling a little bit more emotional in general. But the Ace of Cups is a beautiful start for a new year, Capricorn. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Aquarius, welcome to the new moon in Capricorn for your sign. So Aquarius, this new moon is happening in your 12th house. So for some of you, you could be beginning something privately behind the scenes. This could be a project of yours that you're working on. This could be something financial in nature. So you may be beginning a new chapter financially, but you're working on it privately. So say you're starting to save for something, maybe you're not telling anybody, or you're, starting a savings plan or a new way of making money and you don't want to tell anybody. It could be through something esoteric or something spiritual with this new moon in the 12th house. Maybe beginning a new spiritual pursuit that does have financial payout in some way, shape or form. So maybe you're offering your tarot services online, for example, and maybe you're not telling anybody in your real life. It's just the online spaces. But I think for a lot of you, this new moon is going to be a time of rest and recharging for you. You're wanting to look after your body, you're wanting to take it easy, you're wanting to spend some time alone, some time in isolation to rest and recharge, maybe for the new year. I do think for a lot of you, you could be beginning a new chapter when it comes to your healing journey. So maybe you're seeing a Reiki healer, maybe you're seeing a shaman, maybe you're working through some stuff with a therapist. You're really wanting to work on something behind the scenes. And I feel like whatever it is that you do work on behind the scenes, Aquarius, with Saturn in the second, I think it's giving you stronger confidence. I think you're feeling confident in your abilities. I think you're feeling quite secure in who you are about this new endeavor that you're beginning privately. Your tarot card for this new moon was the King of Pentacles, which is an interesting one because this can represent a financial advisor. This can represent your financial situation. It can be a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising person who is present in your life. But I feel like for a lot of you with Saturn in the second house, as it's leaving its square to Jupiter, it could be a case for a lot of you that you're finding that you've gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom about your financial situation and also your abilities and more confidence in your abilities, Aquarius. And this may be inspiring you to begin something new, but you could be keeping it a secret for now. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi Pisces, welcome to the new moon in Capricorn for your sign. So Pisces, this new moon is happening in your 11th house, and this is to do with friendships, groups, teams that you're a part of. There could be a reset in an existing friendship or your connection to a team or a group. There could be a new team that you're joining, a new group that you're joining, or there could be some sort of new beginning within one that already exists for you, Pisces. And it feels like you're willing to commit more of yourself to it. So whether that is a friendship that is deepening, whether that is a new arrangement within a team, or whether is a new group that you're joining, you seem to be pretty committed with Saturn being in your first house. You feel quite dedicated, you feel quite devoted to this new friend, this new team, or this new group. It could be for some of you that it's a new cause, a new charity that you're working for. It could also be for some of you that it is a goal or an aspiration. And I think for a lot of you, you could also be feeling quite dedicated to making your dreams come true, Pisces. This is a wonderful new moon for you to set a vision board for yourself, to manifest. The 11th house is the house of manifestation, to journal and speak things into existence, that kind of thing. You know the drill. But under this new moon, it is a great time to visualize the future and what would work best for you, because you're very committed. You know, with this sextile to Saturn in your first house, Pisces, you're very committed, you're very dedicated to what it is that is happening in your 11th house now. This is the first season, it's the first Capricorn season we don't have Pluto, the co-presence of Pluto in Capricorn. So you may find that when it comes to friendships and teams and groups, there's less of a power struggle, there's less manipulation, there's less control issue going on, or that kind of thing. So you might find under this new moon that you're very willing to commit to the friends that you make, the groups that you have, or it really improves an existing friendship of yours. Your tarot card, Pisces, was the Knight of Cups. So for some of you, the dream or the aspirations that you're manifesting may be romantic in nature. For some of you, there could be a romantic proposal coming up around the time of this new moon. Someone might declare their feelings. Someone might declare their romantic intentions. There may be a date on the cards for single Pisces. There may be a proposal, or there may just be something that you're working on in your life creatively, a creative passion, a creative hobby, a creative goal, Pisces, because you're best committed to your goals or your passions when your heart is in it. That's what I have for you, and I'll talk to you soon.